Hello everybody, this is one of the entrances to Reading Abbey. Now it's an arch and you'll notice that it is quite a low lying arch. Not the usual curvature, it's not Norman, it's not Roman, it's not Gothic, but it's absolutely reminiscent of Brunel's bridges across the river at Maidenhead. I wonder if he, wandering around the place thinking of trying to build a Great Western Railway, saw this arch and he thought, that's just the angle of curvature that I want. We'll never know, as he died in the 19th century. But as we look, I find this quite an amazing way into any building, abbey, church, cathedral, to look at these enormous walls, really so thick. You know, I wonder why. You can see how thick that is. That's about 8 foot thick, that part. The arch is obviously new to keep it up. I wonder why abbeys built the walls so thickly. Were they afraid of being attacked? Let's see what this says. The ruins of Reading Abbey. Today Reading Abbey stands in ruins. Well, there's no surprise there. And it was very important once upon a time. Main building material was flint. Of course, one of my favourite church building materials. Square indentations like these show where the facing stones used to be. And there are various signs around the place, South Transept Abbey Church. And this is obviously it's not a photograph, but it's an impression of what it used to look like. Like most abbeys, it had a nave, the church, cloister, where the monks used to walk around, perhaps chanting, perhaps praying, perhaps just having a bit of a rest from all that chanting and praying. I imagine a bit of a mixture, really. And there are lights, so you can come here at night and see the walls lit up. Now, Henry I apparently is buried, I think about here, but they haven't got permission to dig him up because it's very rarely given. You know, Richard III was dug up Leicester a while ago. I think it's the first king to be dug up for about 500 years, so they very rarely grant permission to dig up a monarch. And in fact, here is a sign. He might actually be down there. Who knows? It says here, near to this spot was buried King Henry Beauclerk, who founded Reading Abbey June the 18th, 1121. So it's near this spot, but it might be there. We don't know. June the 18th was actually my parents' wedding day, but not in 1121. I'm not that old. Here's a burial. Again, this is an impression. They didn't have photography in those days of Henry, by Harry Morley. After Henry's death, monks said regular prayers for him in the Founders Chapel for a few metres in front of you. Wow. Not yards, note, but metres. So, well, you know, if he founded this abbey, he did at least one good thing. There's a picture of Henry himself, Henry Beauclerk, Henry I. Well, he wasn't called Henry I then because they didn't know if there was going to be a second or even an eighth. And in his left hand, viewers, this is a sensational revelation. In his left hand, you can see an original bowling ball. So, 10-pin bowling wasn't invented by Edward VII or Queen Victoria I, but Henry I. So that settles that argument. If only they'd known, they wouldn't have bothered to try to reinvent it. So thanks for your attention. Some very interesting modern buildings seen through the walls of Reading Abbey. I'm going to stop there. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.